Update 4's damage scaling is pretty bad, but you probably already knew that. Although they are changing the way that scaling works in the next .5 update, I still really want to highlight how bad this meta really was, how really overpowered swords were in this update. I don't think they really thought about capping when they were making this update. You can even see it in the 2 new fruits, where they don't even have a cap limit, so you can just put a million into them. That's how you get builds like Gum, Gatling, and just kill everything in front of it. Even though, I mean, that's not that good, but you get the point. And the biggest benefactor to the lack of cap on the amount of damage you can put out is swords. And one of the 3 new weapons being the Crab Cutlass. The Crab Cutlass is by far the best weapon in this update. I know that the next update, M1s and all that stuff are getting changed, but I kind of wanted to go over the problems of this update's PvP and the Crab Cutlass in general and why it's so broken. The entire meta has been dominated by meta builds of just swords. All this goes back to sword scaling and the amount of damage they're doing in comparison to everything else in the update. I don't know what they were trying to do by not capping the swords, because they just ended up doing 50 plus M1s every single swing. If they were going to compare it to something like Blackleg, where its cap is 44 solidly, it's no wonder that they just took over. You can easily get wins if you're just an average player and just run something like, again, Crab Cutlass. Of course, you can make other builds work, but the effort that you would gain from the amount of damage you would be doing would be less beneficial than if you were just running a Crab Cutlass with an extension fruit. Because of this, the entire meta and everything you would run into 1v1s was either just a Crab Cutlass with an extender like Mero or Suna, or something like Goro or Magu. Last update's meta was a lot more varied, even if I didn't play in it. You would see fruit main builds with just an M1 damage into the fruit that were just really viable. Things like a Black Leg with Mera or something, or even Sword with Mera. You could see a lot of people running that type of stuff, but you don't see it nearly as much in this update, or really anyone going into fruit damage. And that mainly has to do with the fact that fruits, in comparison to the swords, were scaling terribly. Things like Magu's Magma Punch are only doing 100. Mera's Pillar isn't even doing that much. The Hiken is doing 100. In this update where everyone has 1200 to 1500 HP, unless you were doing like a super glass cannon build, there is like no reason to run something like those fruits at all. They're pretty bad. There's like no reason to run any fruit main builds anymore. They're pretty bad. Things like, again, Mera are just like not worth using. Shout out to Magu being saved by a single move. And again, these combos would be just a 1-shot or 2-shot off of a single punish. They were really overtaxing on the meta, and anything that wanted to go against the grain would have to deal with, again, 1 to 2-shot combos unless they were using the sword or the fruit themselves. And the best sword in the game, Crab Cutlass, reinforced the playstyle. Crab Cutlass is a fast swinging normal size sword, and again in this update, because all swords scale the same, there's like no damage difference between you using a Cutlass or something like a hammer. Realistically, the only main benefit to this was against primarily Kraken greatsword users. Crab Cutlass's first move is the most overpowered move, being Cutlass Lunge. This move is ridiculous in every single way. It's a fast lunge that guard breaks for some reason. It allows you to start a combo off of a hit, it allows you to extend a combo of a hit midair and on the floor. It's just a dumb move overall, and the fact that it guard breaks on top of being an extender is beyond ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking when they put this in the game. Literally nothing else in this entire game can do that. Extension fruits don't even have something like this. None of them have a guard break that extends, except for Suna. The fact that it's a guard break and extender, if this was the only move, it would still be the best weapon in the entire game. It's just the ability to extend on top of being a guard break for the literal cost of nothing is stupid. It contributes to the meta of extension fruits with sword M1 builds, because again, why use anything else when you have an extra extension on top of the extensions that you would already have? This move made the weapon far beyond the best weapon in the game. There's like literally no reason to use anything else, unless you're like some weird build, but even then, you probably were better off running Cutlass anyway, so why even bother? So literally just 2 sword styles, Raging Whirl, but with a guard break and does less damage, I guess, but like, what does the damage matter when you're going to have a full combo off of it? Move 2 is Cutlass Ladder. It's a pretty good combo ender that allows you to, at the apex of the jump, slam your opponent onto the ground. Again, it's a pretty good ender. There are certain fruits like Gura that can also use it as an extender. So on top of a lunge, you can also extend it and use it as an ender with it. So, as if it didn't need another extender. This, again, is really good. Not every fruit can use it as an extender, but it's pretty nice. Overall, this weapon is broken, but you already knew that. like you clicked on those videos knowing that yeah, Crab Cutlass is dumb. And if you're watching this in the future and you didn't know about the terrors of update 4 Cutlass, here you go, because this thing is disgusting. Talking by the nerfs in the Discord and the previews, it seems that the sword is no longer going to be nearly as good as it is currently. Probably will be on line with the rest of the swords, if not worse than the rest of the swords in the current meta. But hopefully this serves as a lesson to the devs to not make a high damaging extender off of your main source of damage, because otherwise we're just going to be over and over every update. We're going to have another weapon that does this. So thank God they're putting this in line with the rest of the game, so we don't have a massive power creep where like everything below this has to suck and everything above this has to start topping with like a double combo extender guard breaks, otherwise the weapon is trash or something. So yeah, thank God they're putting this in line with everything else. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you have any suggestions for any broken things you want me to review in this game, put it in the comment. This also includes underpowered things as well, and even other games. But yeah, leave a like, I guess, sub, I guess. Thank you for watching.